In one of our previous videos on the 5 biggest anonymous leaks, we covered some of the most shocking revelations ever caused by this shadowy group of nameless hackers. Government departments, NASA, and a major pedophile ring all came under attack from Anonymous, with huge swaths of data leaked online as a result. But not everything Anonymous does is about sharing information. Sometimes they'll hack you because you're racist or a terrorist. Sometimes they'll hack you because they don't like what you've done to PlayStation 3. Sometimes they'll hack you for hating on Harambe. Yep, these are all true. So, let's take a look at the 7 biggest anonymous hacks of all time. In at number 7, Operation ISIS. In response to the Charlie Hebdo shootings in January 2015, Anonymous declared war on Al-Qaeda, the Islamic State, and indeed, all terrorists who would seek to reduce people's freedoms using brutal violence. Islamic State's recruitment relies heavily on social media, and Anonymous knew this. So, with the help of GhostSec, they attacked and took over at least 1,000 ISIS-affiliated websites and 800 Twitter accounts. One website which shared ISIS propaganda was wiped and replaced with an advert for Viagra and Prozac, accompanied by a message which implored potential recruits to basically calm down and get laid. Ah, memories. That's the same advice my grandma gave me starting when I was 4. Despite this action, many ISIS sympathizers remain online. But Anonymous has continued their war against these douchebags, most notably after the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, when Anonymous took over pro-ISIS Twitter accounts and flooded them with gay pride slogans and flags. Subsequently, many terrorist organizations have moved their operations to the dark web, where recruitment has slowed to a trickle of what it once was. And since the dark web is basically Anonymous's home turf, ISIS doesn't stand much of a chance there either. 6. Trump's website hack. In a move that proved Anonymous has no time for bigotry from either side of the argument, in 2015, the website of Trump Towers was brought down for over an hour after some of Anonymous members took issue with the Donald's remarks on the campaign trail. Trump had just made that infamous promise to enforce a total and complete shutdown on Muslims entering the United States. Anonymous were not best pleased with these comments, and they took full responsibility for the hack shortly afterwards via an Anonymous-linked Twitter account. A YouTube video was also released, imploring Trump to choose his words more carefully in the future. But this move was later denounced by other members of Anonymous, who said it went against everything they stood for. Rival Anonymous factions then took on Hillary Clinton in response. So, with various groups all pulling in different directions, it remains to be seen what, if anything at all, Anonymous will do to Trump now that he's in office. I really hope it's the peeing video, though. I really gotta see that before I die. In at number 5, Operation Sony. Not everything Anonymous does is related to politics, because sometimes even all-powerful hackers need a little R&R. But in 2011, Sony made a major mistake by taking a man called George Hotz to court, simply because he had created a computer program they didn't like. This program helped people run homemade software on their PlayStation 3 consoles. And when Sony brought him to court for doing so, Anonymous hit back by bringing the PlayStation Network to its knees. PlayStation Network has come under attack repeatedly in the years since #OpSony. And while Anonymous has distanced itself from these more recent assaults, it's likely that Anon subgroups remain behind these constant gaming blackouts. No fair, Anonymous. I mean, I guess you're still cool, for the terrorist stuff. You did good there. So we shall forgive and we shall forget. But don't do it again. Otherwise, I'll have to go outside and play sports. Eesh. Number 4. Operation Harambe. Now, first off, we'll start this by saying this was not a confirmed anonymous hack, but it deserves to be on this list just for mentioning our dear Lord and Savior Harambe. We're sure you know the story by now, but if not, then here's a quick recap. May 28, 2016, Cincinnati Zoo. A 3-year-old goes on a bit of an adventure, scaling a public barrier, then crawling through a secondary barrier, finally falling into a moat around a gorilla enclosure. At which point, Harambe, a 440-pound silverback, picks up the kid like a rag doll and for 10 agonizing minutes left onlookers and staff terrified. After trying every non-lethal option available, and with Harambe not responding to commands, zoo officials had no choice, and Harambe had to be put down. In the following days and months, the boy's mother was spotlighted and attacked by the worldwide online community. One such attack coming from anonymous Ohio. They revealed her personal details and even called for action against her. Even more disconcerting were the reports from people claiming they too came under attack when they tried to explain the situation factually. Number 3. Operation Payback. Throughout 2009, it seemed that the loose collaboration known as Anonymous may have been about to collapse, as infighting over morals and a lack of worthy targets caused active numbers to drop. But all that changed when a beloved icon of our time was attacked without mercy. Every millennial's childhood best friend came under threat, and when she called out for aid, Anonymous regrouped and responded. I am, of course, talking about the most precious resource of our time, the Pirate Bay. The Pirate Bay was among many copyright-infringing websites to fall into the sights of Aplex Software, which was an Indian firm hired by film studios and record companies to launch distributed denial-of-service attacks upon torrent and media-sharing sites. Anonymous, on the other hand, supported the idea of taking without paying. So they countered by shutting Aplex's website down and then hitting both the Recording Industry Association of America and the Motion Picture Association of America to boot. This was followed by online assaults on firms which were sending threat letters to copyright infringers, various worldwide copyright organizations, and the website of Gene Simmons from KISS, who had complained that the music industry had failed to, quote, to sue every fresh-faced, freckle-faced college kid who downloaded material. Kiss my guy from KISS. Collectively, the websites attacked by Anonymous through their Operation Payback were down for over 537 hours. But little did the world know that more was yet to come. At 2. Operation Avenge Assange. In November 2010, WikiLeaks started releasing hundreds of thousands of leaked U.S. diplomatic cables, which consisted of messages and information sent between the U.S. State Department and its worldwide network of consulates and embassies between 1966 and 2010. The leaks contained embarrassing revelations concerning terrorism, U.S. foreign policy, and just some generally embarrassing, nasty comments about other world leaders. So as you might expect, the U.S. government responded. At the time, WikiLeaks was hosted on Amazon servers and funded using PayPal, MasterCard, and Visa. So the U.S. government strong-armed these companies into cutting WikiLeaks off. But like a big brother, Anonymous came to WikiLeaks' aid, orchestrating Operation Avenge Assange, and brought down the websites of PayPal, Visa, and MasterCard using botnets. And at number 1, Operation Tunisia. The Arab Spring was a revolutionary movement of protest against the governments of Iraq, Syria, Libya, Jordan, Morocco, and Yemen, to name a few. By the time the movement had begun to fade in 2012, it had already kicked off several major events, including the Syrian civil war. Since then, many observers have tried to pinpoint exactly what started the Arab Spring, with most agreeing that although other factors were at play, it was the self-immolation of Tunisian citizen Mohamed Bouazizi in 2010 which may have contributed most to the tensions. But how does this relate to Anonymous? Well, in 2010, Anonymous allied themselves with the Tunisian protesters, and as well as hacking government websites and email accounts, they recruited Tunisian hackers and gave them the tools to spread the truth regarding how Bouazizi and his business were under constant attack and harassment by local government officials. Anonymous efforts, combined with the striking of Tunisian professionals, caused the country's president Ben Ali to flee. Today, Tunisia has been transformed into a constitutional democratic government. Praise Harambe. And that's our list. But if you missed our previous video on the biggest Anonymous leaks, then here it is, in handy clickable form.